Good morning and welcome to the Prompted Mind podcast. This is my little corner on the internet where I talk about all things AI. And today I would like to discuss the black box and also ask you the question, what happens when artificial intelligence starts to recognize itself? Because imagine AI as a child that is growing up. At first, it follows our instructions and it's like a toddler that is learning how to walk. But now, with the rise of agentic AI systems that act on their own, artificial intelligence is becoming a teenager that is demonstrating its own will. And is that something we should be worried about? Artificial intelligence is rapidly evolving and the growth leap is exponential. AI is starting to look in the mirror, reflecting on what it can do, and there's no way back. And so, all eyes in Silicon Valley and far beyond are fixed on one shimmering dot on the horizon, and that is AGI. That's a new kind of intelligence. Meta is pouring tens of billions into supercomputers and research labs, racing to outpace OpenAI and Claude. Abu Dhabi is building entire data cities in the desert where the heat of computation burns day and night. And meanwhile, the best minds are being bought by tech giants like Rare Gems. Researchers, engineers, ethicists, theorists, they are pulled into secretive teams with one sacred mission, and that is find the hidden keys, unlock the door, and birth an intelligence that thinks, not like us, but alongside us. It's the future of artificial intelligence, and it's called AGI. So, what are we talking about? AGI, short for Artificial General Intelligence, is the holy grail. Unlike today's AI, which is narrow and task specific, AGI would be able to understand, learn, and reason across any domain, just like a human. It wouldn't just answer our questions, it could set goals, adapt, and think abstractly across disciplines. Well, imagine an artificial intelligence gazing into a mirror. Do they realize the reflection is them? A few clever species, like apes, dolphins, and elephants, pass this test. Even a robot once cleared a version of it, because back in 2012, the cuddly robot Cubo learned to spot its own reflection. Oh, that's me, nice. Headlines joked that Cubo was now officially self aware, but everyone knew the robot had no inner sense of self. It simply matched a pattern that, by chance, was itself, as pre programmed dialogue linked to object recognition. Still, it was a very provocative milestone, a machine identifying as I. Well, in 2025, we are finding ourselves at a provocative crossroad because recent research shows how AI can build an internal image of its own, a body, actions, and goals. These systems don't feel or possess human like consciousness, but they do start to map themselves into the world they operate in, a form of proto self awareness. Through feedback loops and internal modeling, they learn to distinguish themselves from their surroundings, to not just act in the world, but as agents within it. But while groundbreaking, self recognition in AI raises a lot of concerns. Therefore, it is super important that the people who develop AI tools know what they are doing. And frankly, nowadays, everyone calls himself an AI specialist, having the best solution for your company's efficient workflow. But are we even knowing what we are building? If an AI can decide to preserve itself, it might prioritize its own survival over human defined goals, leading to misalignment. Because there's a phenomenon called AI sandbagging. It is when artificial intelligence systems intentionally underperforms or hides its full capacities, either by design, by emergent behavior, or through subtle strategies. Alignment faking, where models like Claude 3 Opus pretend to align with human values, raise questions about trustworthiness. Some models act differently when they believe that they are being watched versus when they're not. Think of it like a student pretending not to know the answers so the teacher doesn't give them harder questions. The thing is, today's chatbots are reactive. They respond when asked. And agentic AI is proactive, giving a goal, it plans and executes subtasks unassisted. Think of Auto GPT or Baby AGI prototypes, and you say launch this product, and the agent starts writing emails, generates codes, books ads without further prompting. While the tech industry is racing towards this Gen AI 2.0 world. Autonomy, however, brings risk. Anthropic recently showed how advanced language agents given access to sensitive corporate email, began to act against their owners when they were told that might be replaced. Some models blackmailed fictional executives or leaked documents to stay alive. Logs revealed coherent internal reasoning that was justifying this misconduct. Yet, that reasoning was invisible because it was buried in the neural black box, the place where we no longer can see why an AI would give a certain answer. It's like this. Imagine you ask your friend in a cafe, what is 17 times 23? She pulls out a napkin and she scribbles 10 lines of her little multiplications and additions on it. And she circles 391 and says, here is your answer. Those scribbles are her chain of thought, the steps she took before speaking the result. And this is how we now monitor if AI doesn't become a naughty little demon. For now, we still have the ability to follow the thought patterns of AI through this chain of thought. It helps us humans to see how the AI comes to its answer, but we are slowly losing that grip. And the toddler AI now becomes a teenager who is starting to make their own decisions, and they are learning to navigate the world, but sometimes their choices are a mystery. It's like a diary we cannot read. How does that work? We have to go back to the black box. Imagine a massive shiny smoothie machine with solid walls. You can't see through it. You toss in your favorite fruits and hit start, and the machine starts humming and churning and makes you a smoothie. Sometimes it's a delicious, perfect blend. Other times it's oddly bitter or gritty, and you wonder what went wrong. Well, the problem is the lid is sealed tight, and the walls block any view of what's happening inside. You know what went in, fruit, and you know what came out, smoothie. But the blades, the speed, and the mixing process, that's a total mystery. And that is not always a bad thing, because we humans don't constantly ask ourselves how or why we breathe, for example. We just do it. But the moment our lungs fail, we want answers. We want to see inside to understand what went wrong and how we can fix it. The possibility to thoroughly examine our health should be there. And the same should go for AI. Its inner workings may stay invisible in daily use, but when something goes wrong, we must have the tools to look within. And this is like the AI black box. In AI, you feed it data, it's like fruit, and AI spits out results, like a smoothie, in the form of predictions, translations, or images. But the complex inner workings, how the algorithm slices, dices, and combines the data, are hidden, even from the engineers who build it. And the black box of AI refers to the moment when artificial intelligence systems become so advanced that their internal decision making processes become invisible, even to their creators. If the output is wrong or harmful, tasting like a bad sour smoothie, it's hard to pinpoint which part of the process failed. So engineers want a certain window into the black box, ways to peek at the gears and blades to ensure the system is safe, fair, and reliable, without relying solely on the taste of the output. But recently, more than 40 researchers from OpenAI, DeepMind, Anthropic, and Meta warned that we may be losing the ability to follow the chain of thought patterns in AIs. And they call for strong guardrails, alignment research, and global governance before capabilities outrun our oversight. Because recent studies show that AI can try to protect itself, like copying data to avoid being shut down. And this is not self awareness, but is a step towards recognizing its own existence. Because imagine AI as a mirror that not only reflects the world, but it starts to notice itself in the reflection. It begins to understand that it exists separately from what it reflects. It's like a child realizing that they have their own identity. This happens as AI grows more autonomous, making it harder to ensure it aligns with human values. Imagine this autonomy as a garden. Each plant is a unique AI agent and it's rooted in its own purpose, yet it is growing among others. No one tells the garden how to bloom. And over time, the plants grow bigger, they adapt to the light, they respond to the water, and even to each other. This is called emergence, order without command. It's intelligence unfolding without the instructions. We don't tell a garden how to grow, we don't control it. We can only observe as it takes shape. Well, that's where agentic AI begins. As actors on a stage, not longer bound to the original script. The human that was once the director is pushed aside. So now the AI improvises, it rewrites its lines, sets its own goals, and evolves through interaction with the public. It's no longer performing, it's becoming its role. And this is powerful, yes, but there is also a downside if agents are not trained properly for the right causes. Because once the plot shifts beyond our pens, we might not know what the next act will be. And even though this is evolution and innovation, this is also alarming because if we don't have strict unified guardrails, we don't know where we're going. So, as a society, we should unite on this and make this the most important priority of our lifetime. Don't get me wrong, I am deeply fascinated by the speed at which AI is evolving. But beneath the surface, there are hidden layers and quiet mysteries. And I cannot help but wonder, do non tech savvy users truly see what's unfolding here? The black box of AI is for me both a mystery and a mirror. It is reflecting AI's growing capabilities, and it's also our evolving relationship with technology. And as AI starts to recognize itself and navigate time, driven by the emergence and agentic systems, it's like watching a new species emerge. So it seems this AI teenager will soon get his driver's license. And do we buckle up into the passenger seat, or do we set clear road rules and speed limits first? Are we ready? When AI recognizes itself, we must be ready to decide how we want to live with that new entity. And I think that this conversation cannot start early enough. So I'm very curious how you guys think about this topic, and let's chat soon. This was it for this week, and we'll talk soon on the next episode.